What's going on, Movie Maniacs? I'm Zach.
And I'm Matt.
And this is the previews, everybody's favorite part of the movie. Lion King.
Yes.
Had to. Yep, had to.
Exactly. Another reimagining of another Disney classic.
Yep.
The 1994 Disney classic. Okay, but of course, directed by Jon Favreau. I would say that's probably the biggest name, really honestly, attached to this movie.
I mean, or Donald Glover.
Donald Glover, obviously, playing Simba.
Yeah.
The iconic James Earl Jones returning as Mufasa.
Beyonce.
The Queen Bee herself as Nala. Billy Eichner as Timon. One of my favorite comedic writers and comedic actors of all time. Seth Rogen as Pumbaa. And then Chetwell Ejiofor as Scar. Exactly. So, I mean, this cast, top to bottom.
So, top notch.
Absolutely
You cannot get much
stacked.
better.
No, you really can't. Now, of course, I always ask you these types of questions, okay?
Yeah.
With such an all-star cast, usually movies like New Year's Eve and Valentine's have all-star casts. Is this just as bad as these movies? Or does it elevate the material a little bit?
It doesn't elevate the material in any way, shape, or form. But I don't want to necessarily say that's a bad thing. I'm not going to try to sugarcoat it. This movie was the exact same thing as the cartoon.
With these live-action remakes, you have to ask yourself coming out of the movie, would I rather watch this or the cartoon? Okay? Now, sometimes...
Or if it expands on the story.
We both agree that our favorite live-action remake is definitely The Jungle Book.
By so much.
I see, not by so much for me. Jon Favreau coming back, I was really interested to see how we would be able to elevate the technology, but also do something different. Like, I think the Jungle Book live-action movie is far and beyond better than the cartoon.
Yeah,
I don't like the cartoon
and that was just the thing that was scaring me most about this movie, is because, I mean, especially for how iconic it was, there was so much to add onto it.
Yeah.
You know, so because I think it's only like an hour too. The movie's only like an hour. What was just so genius about the Jungle Book, because it was so similar to the cartoon, but so different.
Yes.
And then that's what was scaring me about this, because this is a perfect beginning to end story.
It's a powerhouse. But with the Lion King live action, it is tough to, and like I said, elevate the material, because the story in and of itself is near perfect, right? Disney's just got to do itself a favor, quit shooting themselves in the foot, and just do a movie that nobody really likes to turn into a live action. Because Jungle Book translated so well.
Yeah.
Cinderella is in the mix, right? Like, it's not held up as high as like Snow White, Beauty and the Beast, like what have you, Lion
Peter
King.
Pan.
Exactly. It's not held up as high, so it made sense. But all these movies that they started coming out with that are just like, people are like, oh, that's my favorite, like Aladdin, right? Like, we liked Aladdin, we didn't love it. This one, total mixed feelings, man. Total mixed feelings.
I'm right there with you. The first thing we obviously have to bring up is the visuals.
Oh, yes.
Incredible. And that was the thing. I was lost in this movie. I really felt like I was in this mix. It was beautiful to look at. The animals felt real, and it's a real milestone when it comes to I don't want to say live action, because that's considered, but just animation in general. Yeah,
looking at these animals, the smallest detail is what stands out the most. The way their fur moves, the way when they run in water, how it sticks, together.
And I was trying to find so many times throughout the movies, because, like, I mean, even with the forest in this landscape, like, I'm just looking at the wind. Everything's moving in sync. I'm looking at this branch gets slightly touched, and you see not only the thing move, but like a little slight branch break off.
Exactly,
there,
bugs fly up from it.
Yeah, I was trying to keep really close attention to it, and it was so top notch.
Yeah, but having said that, though, as beautiful as the images are, it is so tough for you to emotionally connect with these animals, because they have no facial expressions whatsoever.
Nope. And then, I mean, because then I obviously reflected on the Jungle Book while thinking about that, but we had a human to follow in the Jungle Book to give you those feelings and give you that emotion.
And I told you that right from the get-go.
Yep.
I wish we had a YouTube channel at that time, because I said, when Jon Favreau said he was going to direct The Lion King, I said, it's going to be really tough connecting to those animals, because with Jungle Book, you have that emotional connection with Mowgli, and he can express his emotions, and you follow that, right?
Yeah.
And his emotions, speaking with the other animals, you could feel it.
So I guess I really didn't fully realize it to watch this movie,
Yep.
that it just really made you connect more.
Yeah, and you could say I'm right. You could say I'm right. Just say it. Just say it. Not a big deal.
No, you're right.
Not a big
You're
deal.
right.
And there were some shots where I thought this was coming out of a National Geographic like documentary.
Yeah, Planet Earth.
Yeah, 100%. But I'm like, yeah, like I hear the emotion in your voice,
Yeah.
but the face isn't showing it. I guess to go into the voice cast, because we just messed that up. Half of them, I would say more than half, superb.
Very superb.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
sure you guys have all heard online already. Billy Eichner and Seth Rogen as Timon and Pumbaa steal the show.
I felt like a new light was brought into the movie once they came on screen.
Yes.
Probably one of the best parts for me is hearing Seth Rogen's laugh come out of that warthog.
Oh yeah.
It was so fun. Anytime it happened. It happened only a few times.
What did you think about Chitwell for Scar?
I thought he did good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely thought he did good. I mean, again, with no facial expressions to go off of, with what he was given, no, he did, I liked him.
Yeah.
I did.
Me too, and of course Beyonce.
Good.
Yep. And then John Oliver.
I enjoy John Oliver a lot. I
Yeah.
mean, I'd probably say he was probably next to Timon and Pumbaa. He was probably my second.
Yeah, so I felt like the side characters really did majority of the heavy lifting with this, and they really, in theory, casted everyone spot on. And of course, James Earl Jones, just doing James Earl Jones things.
That was great.
And he was good.
Yeah, he was really good too.
But my biggest gripe, and I don't know if you're going to agree with this, a man that can act his ass off, a man that is hilarious, and a man who is a great musician.
If I could be anybody in this world, it would be this individual.
Yes, however, an awful voice actor. Donald Glover let me down.
Charles Gambino himself.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say he let me down, but he didn't.
He didn't bring anything.
Nothing
When you
at
can
all.
make Matthew Broderick seem more intimidating as a lion, you failed your job. I don't care what anyone says. When Ferris Bueller himself can sound more intimidating than the man that came up with This Is America, it's awful. It is awful. When the man who played in that awful Godzilla movie could seem more intimidating than a man that played Lando Calrissian to a T. You're doing a bad job.
I don't want to say it was disappointing, but it was very bland.
It was disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, it just didn't bring anything.
He didn't.
I would say, like, it was cool seeing his name on the cast, but I wasn't, like, excited for him.
Yeah.
Necessarily. I was excited for the first ones we brought up. Seth Rogen, John Oliver,
Billy Eichner.
James Earl Jones. That's who I was excited for. Seeing Donald Glover, like, okay, cool. I like Donald Glover.
Now we're going to get to a little bit of a spoiler territory, okay? So if you don't want to, go ahead and hit this timestamp so you can actually see our number review. And then, we're going to go ahead and start the spoilers right now. So, biggest issues, go ahead.
It was a cut and paste. Like, and it just, because I watched it 2 days ago.
Okay.
Just to refresh my mind. I mean, I've seen the movie millions of times, but just to fully refresh my mind. And they stole every great shot from the original.
We should really be giving credit to this movie to the animators still.
It really set in. You know, when Mufasa dies, when Simba's screaming, no, same exact shot. And I was laughing. I'm like, why? Why? And that's why I laughed, because I'm like, this, you cannot have got more spot on any other way.
It reminded me of that remake of Psycho with Vince Vaughn.
Exactly.
Shot for shot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it didn't have nowhere near his impact on me. I will just say, honestly, probably the best part of the movie for me, you're probably going to be surprised when I tell you this, was when Beyonce's song was used.
Okay.
Because it was new, and I feel like it fit the scene so well. No dialogue, it was just her song playing, and just seeing the landscape of Simba and Nala running.
Yeah.
And I thought it was great, and I'm like, this is kind of the feeling I've wanted from this movie the entire time, but I just feel like I was just seeing a cut and paste movie. And
when Mufasa dies, in the animated one, it still gets me.
And I mean, and I guess I would say that was probably my second biggest thing, is because at a lot of the key moments
They rushed it.
so much.
So much.
Like I mean, I'll bring up Mufasa's death. Like
Yeah,
there was no like minute of loss and Simba not believing that.
Like him
Mufasa's
nudging him
dead.
and him biting
like,
him.
come on, like, let's go. We gotta go.
Uh-huh.
We gotta get out of here. No, it was, Dad.
Wake up.
Oh, wake up, and then just curls next to him. But the scene that really showed that was when Nala and Simba first met up.
Oh yeah.
It was them fighting, and then Nala pins him down the way that they did as kids, and then just Nala, Simba. Hey, I can't believe you're alive. I'm not even kidding you. I'm not exaggerating.
Yeah.
That's exactly how it
All
was.
those key emotional moments were so rushed, it didn't resonate throughout the rest of the film.
Yeah, I know.
And then also Rafiki, like not in the movie at all.
That was, yep, yeah, Rafiki. I don't want to say my favorite character, but one of them.
Yeah,
one of the
he's
biggest
probably in the
icons.
movie for like 4 minutes.
Yeah, and then when you see him, he's just being a monkey.
Yeah.
He's just being a monkey, and that's and no, forget the past. You know, like or learn from the past. Sorry, no, learn from the past moment. No, he did not stand out at all.
Yeah, no, he didn't. And that was sad. That was sad because he really ties everything together. And it was just, hey, I'm here, guys. Don't forget me. You know, and that was unfortunate.
So yeah, overall, what are you giving it?
I'm gonna do a Disney callback here, okay? If you're a true Disney fan, you'll totally get this. If you don't, then you're not a true Disney fan, okay? I'm going to give it 3 backsides of water out of 5. How about you, my friend? What are you thinking?
I'm gonna give it 2.5 shedded hairs out of 5.
Hey, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it was, like I said, it wasn't terrible. I was lost in this world, but I've seen it before, and in those few moments that were different were the best scenes in the movie.
Yeah.
And that's how, and there were just so few, and those are the things that stuck out most to me.
But that's it for this week, Movie Maniacs. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up. Hit that bell icon so you get notified of every single review we upload. And then next week,
My most anticipated movie of the year.
yep,
Quentin Tarantino himself. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I am beyond excited.
Yep.
I cannot wait.
I can't wait either. And hopefully this one isn't as a disappointment as The Lion King was.
Yeah, for
Yep,
sure.
Yep. But tune in next week and we'll see you next time on The Previews.